Hello, hello. Today I am talking with Brittni Devereaux, who is another one of our experts inside Embodied Abundance. I am so excited. Welcome, Brittni.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here too. So thanks for
Ah,
having me.
I know, so juicy. Brittni is a financial planner and like a financial coach, which I'm really excited to have because, Brittni and I talk a lot about like money manifestation and mindset work. And Brittni's one of these rare birds who is not just all about the financial planning. She's also steeped in all the woo, all the mindset stuff, which makes her so special to me. So I'm really excited. So tell us more about what you do, Brittni.
Yes. Well, maybe it makes sense to take a step back and step into why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I think that will help answer the questions on the
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
Why mindset? What the heck is money mindset? And then like why financial
sure.
planner? Uh, so thinking about myself, I grew up in a family where we didn't really talk about money. It was kind of, I'm calling it like a five-letter word. Like we were considered rude to bring it up. I didn't know really how much money my mom made. My parents were divorced. Like money was always a contentious topic. Child support, who was paying for what? It was like a very scary topic for me. And as I've grown up, I guess a side note, my mother passed away 9 years ago and didn't have anything to her name. So she happened to pass away the month of my birthday. I turned 25. I had bought my first
Wow.
house and I had to pay for my mother's funeral. Yeah, wasn't really planning for
Wow.
that one, especially when I was so cash
Mm,
strapped after buying my first home. So,
yeah.
from where I'm coming from like a money perspective, it's been a scary topic for me for a long time. And by it being scary, that means that I also haven't been really addressing it and like really stepping into my worth in terms of like demanding the salaries that I should be getting paid, or expecting people to pay me back when I lend them money. So I decided it's time to change that, right? And I've been working on the money mindset stuff for years around manifestation, law of attraction, just overall abundance mindset and really shifting out of lack. And I realized that, through talking with my friends and meeting people like you, like a lot of us need this work every day in our lives. And money isn't just affecting our bank account, right? Money and the flow that we feel with
Mhm.
money, it's attracting or blocking all of the flow and abundance that could be coming to us. So whether it's love, whether it's ease, whether it's just feeling joy, like we can be blocking this positive flow in so many ways. And often if we're hiding in our money ways, we're hiding or blocking in our other ways too. So I just saw, I've seen my life shift dramatically. That's a new word. Dramatically. um,
I love it. I want that. I'm going to use that word
dramatically.
dramatically.
I swear I've said
Sometimes
that another time. I need
dramatically
to.
and drastically. You need
It's
them
so intense.
both. You
So,
need them both. Yeah.
so but seriously, like I just personally have been going through my own shifts when I was open to receiving abundance and beginning to look at my life in more of a abundantly flowing way. So many things begin to shift in my life. I got divorced 4 or 5 years ago. I'm now with probably the guy I'm going to be with for a very long time. I've manifested, free trips abroad and just situations that I
Wow.
basically a free car and like my house at a ridiculous rent. Like these things are just waiting for us if we're willing to open up to them, right? And so, I've been
Yes.
really, really passionate about this work. And I realized like I really want to help people with all the money flow energy emotion stuff, but then where the fuck do they go when it's time to invest in something, or it's time to put together a budget, or it's time to figure out your life insurance
Mm,
needs, or the array of so many other things out there that are a part of building our financial life, our financial future. And so that's why
absolutely.
I
Yeah.
decided to step into this place, right? Because I want to be someone that people can trust with the energy, with the emotions, with the mindset, but I also want to be there to help bridge the gap in a really scary industry where we're using buzzwords and like graphs and charts, and it's like so
Mm,
overrun with fear that people
right.
just They don't know where to go. So let me get back to your question. Thank you for asking it.
Yeah.
My goal is really to work with people who are ready to lead their life from their heart, who are ready to put the actions in place that are in line with their intentions to live their most abundant life. And
Oh,
I know this is recording, right? We got that on recording. But
yeah.
that's
Oh,
what
yeah. It's good.
but that's what I want to do. And like, I'm so excited to just be here in this space. You know, I spoke to a friend of mine this morning, and she was like, "This is what you're supposed to do, Brittni." And I was like, "I know. It's kind of weird. Like a girl that has been hiding all of this time from money and scared to, I mean, looking at my bank account, and I've been blessed. Like I'm not, you know, I got my MBA, like I've been through, you know, experiences and opportunities. Like I've been in I've been able to take care of myself. But that didn't mean I
Right.
wasn't
And white
freaking
privilege
out.
is real and we
And
recognize.
right. White
Yeah.
privilege even
Yeah.
impacts me as a white woman. Like I'm still given privileges that other people aren't. But, you know, if I got Chinese takeout one night, I would have a panic attack. If I spent $2 extra on toilet
Mm,
paper, I would like the loops in my mind were so destructive over $2.
yeah.
$2, you know? And I
Right.
know I'm not the
Mm-hmm.
only one living that way. So what we don't own owns us, right? And my goal is to really help us all collectively, because I'm working on it too, like, but to help us all
Mm-hmm.
step into owning our money by first maybe stepping into owning our dreams and what we really want so that we can look at all the stuff around us and really get intentional on how we're building our life to be the most abundant it can be. You know, you talk a lot about I'm going to say it wrong, the Condo Marie stuff, right? Um,
Yeah, the Con
Marie
Marie your
Kondo,
business.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's the same with money. You know, how much are we spending stuff on that's not actually feeding our heart's purpose, our soul purpose? And, you know, I think what's so great about bringing me into this at this time with the business and the entrepreneurs that are going to be in here is I know that you are all breaking down all of those aspects of your business to make sure that every time you come to work every day, you know, the time and energy you're putting into your business is aligned with your soul purpose. So why not make sure that the
Mm,
financial foundation of you personally or your business is not, it has to also be aligned. Otherwise you're going to completely lose control of it. You might get lucky, but hope is not a strategy. And, you know, or make it aligned so you can turn it out and it can be the best it can be. So did I answer your
right.
question? I hope
Yeah.
that was an answer to your
And like,
question.
yeah, that definitely does. Cause like money also needs a place to go. Like we need to like know what we're gonna do with it, know what our strategy is. It has to be both the law of attraction. Like financial planning is part of the law of attraction when it comes to money.
Exactly. Or manifestation, even, right? Like writing down your manifestations, like
Yeah,
writing
right.
down your goals. You know, like once you have a plan, then you know how to act. Yeah, you don't know where you are until you figure out where you want to go. And then the rest you can start to filter
Right.
or plan around. So, yep.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. So how about like what are some actionable steps or some top tips that somebody could take today, like an entrepreneur could take right now to start getting their financial life in more order?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start with the basics because surprisingly, like, I think we could all be reminded about the basics a little bit.
Oh, always,
Yeah,
always.
always, right? So from like a personal level, or if you're in your business level, just start taking a look at basic, like what are you bringing in and what's going out, right? Like, so money only has a couple places to go. You're either spending it, you're either saving it, or you're like burning it, right? Like there's only so many options. There's actually not, it's just
Mm,
three. There's three places where money's going. So, you know, try and get familiar with what your money habits have been in the past, maybe what things are looking like now, so that you just have an idea where it is. You can get real with it, and once you're real with it, then you can either make changes or start, you know, putting things into place to use that money better. So
mhm.
getting a handle on just your overall budget and what's going on, I think, is really good. I think you know, in this time of COVID, I mean, anytime, I think you need to be looking forward ahead. Even if my personal finances, I was kind of a dork. Like I like spreadsheets and stuff. So I used to put together, even for my personal stuff, just to look ahead, a month or two ahead, just to try and project like what do I think is going to come in? Where do I think I need to spend money? And where's my bank account going to end up? And we call that in like business school, like cash flow analysis or whatever. But really, all it is just trying to make a guess about what the future might look like in the next few months, and you could project that out as far as you want,
Right.
but that way you can just get ahead and not, fall victim to any surprises, or I don't know, you're in a good mood, the weather's nice, like you don't just spend a little extra money when you might need it in 2 or 3 months. So those are kind of my two big tips right now. If you have the experience or the finances to project further out, the further out the better. But I mean, with COVID, I feel like we're moving day by day. If you can even get a month or two ahead, I think that's probably a good place to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And then
that's
the other
also
big,
a great place. Like, yeah, I imagine that that would be really good for determining, like, okay, maybe like if you want to be investing in like a virtual assistant or something down the line, like putting that into like your future budget. Like, this is what I'm planning for. This is where I'm planning to move with my business.
right. And I've heard you say too, like by the time you're thinking about planning for something or paying for something, it's probably a little late actually, right? So if you can get
Mhm.
ahead of where you expect to be, especially like, I don't know, in 6 weeks, if you need an extra, I don't know how much a virtual assistant would be, but if you need a couple extra grand, like maybe there's some little things you can start doing now to start bringing that money in so that by the time you need it, you're not scrambling, right? And so
Right.
and unfortunately, like it's going to take a little extra work right now to kind of go through your stuff, build the baseline. Once you have the baseline in place, it's actually a lot easier to like just check in on it maybe once a week or once every other week and
Mhm.
just kind of see where you're at. So it's a little
Right.
overwhelming at first, but once you get it in line, it's a lot easier to keep in place and keep track of.
Nice. Did you have something else to say? I know I accidentally cut you off.
Sorry. Yeah. I mean,
It's
I could talk
okay.
forever. But the other thing, and I know this is a hard topic right now, but personally, like, we always talk about emergency funds, and, they would say, at the minimum, like try and see what you can do to save up for a month, a fund just for emergencies. If you can do more than that, they say 6 months is standard in this time. 12 months is, I mean, that's a lot, but if you're in a position right now where you have some cash and you can kind of like carve it out and set it aside so you don't see it maybe in a separate bank account that's earning some interest, um, I think cash is king or queen. We'll keep it for the ladies, but that if you're able to do that, I would try and carve some of that out just so you have some backup, because who
Yeah.
knows what's going to happen in the next
Yeah.
couple months or years.
I mean, and even if a month feels out of reach, like the Dave Ramsey method of getting to $1,000, that's like the average cost of like a big problem, right? So like,
Totally. Mm-hmm.
if you have like an unexpected trip you need to take, maybe like a funeral or something, that covers your travel expenses, or a cat, like a vet bill for your cat or your dog. That's also
Right.
going to be helpful. It's going to defray it a little bit. And that's like, that I always say is the baseline. Like, do what you got to do, sell the shit in your house, get the $1,000, just, and then like I always kept mine in an online bank, not connected to any of my accounts. So it's like I got to pay $25 if I want to wire that money somewhere. And so I get like,
Yeah.
there's a definitely an incentive to not touch it. So,
Yeah, if it's out of
mhm.
sight, it's out of mind, and it's safe somewhere. And if you can carve it out, and if you can't carve it out, even just, a couple bucks a week or a month helps you build
Mhm.
that over time. So
Perfect. Do you
totally.
have any resources that you recommend for people who might be like new to financial planning?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of old school, and I just kind of like using Excel spreadsheets. And actually, I'll try and create some templates that I can give students in the program so they can walk away with some good planning templates.
Yes.
Yeah, I put together my own cash flow stuff that's not too complicated, and I have a basic budget sheet that I use for myself. I've signed up for things online like Mint, and you know, honestly, I've just
Any
found that
books or podcasts? Anything like that?
I mean, I'm reading Remit's book.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
There's things in it that are good, and there's things in it that I would talk to other people about just to see how they feel about it. But I think in general, if you're just trying to get a handle on some stuff, Susie Orman's books, years ago were a great resource for me because she really broke down some basic concepts, especially with small business owners. I mean, just understanding how your access to capital, your access to loans as a new business owner, if you need to take out small business loans, and just understanding like just basic features of loans and things like that. Susie Orman stuff could be really helpful to break down some of that terminology. And I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm kind of old school. Like I said, I used to do the Mint thing. The one thing that is cool about Mint, if you're using it for personal, I'm not sure if they have a business side of it, but it will show you where you're at, like in real time. I think like week by week, which is like a new feature it didn't have years ago. So
Oh,
if you
okay.
used Mint a long time ago and you thought it was a little annoying, you might find some of their new features more beneficial for your lifestyle now. But honestly, like credit cards these days and even bank accounts, you can download your transaction history in an Excel spreadsheet, and usually it categorizes it for you. So even if you
Mhm.
can do some basic Excel sorting, you can kind of get a handle on where you're at pretty easily now with most banks and credit cards.
I'm like incompetent with Excel, but I'm a fan of, I like Dave Ramsey's Every Dollar is great. That's free.
Uh-huh.
The free budgeting tool, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's just it's about what appeals to you. Those are like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're like once you start like finding like the kind of authors that speak to you in personal finance, that is like that puts you on the right path. I always feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's most powerful. So
Yeah, totally. And yeah, if it doesn't feel energizing, if it feels totally draining, maybe you need to like hop over to a different
find someone
method,
else. Yeah.
find
Mhm.
someone else. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, perfect. Well, where can people find you?
Great. Thanks for asking. So on Instagram, I'm pretty active on Instagram. I'm Hello Brito is my handle. And I also have Facebook. My name's Brittni Devereaux. If I'm sure it's posted on here, you can find how the spelling because the spelling's a little unique. I think those are kind of like the two best ways to find me right now. And if you have questions or anything like that, you want to reach out to me, feel free to DM me on either Facebook or Instagram. I'm happy to answer DMs and things like that and be a resource to anyone if anyone has questions.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat today.
Of course. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to meet all the people that are jumping into this program. And
You know.
yeah, it's I can feel the energy like it's here and I can't wait to share it. So thank you so much, Jesse.
Of course. And we'll talk soon.
Yep, take
Bye.
care. Bye.